Hello dear friends, I welcome everyone presently watching Sotnik-TV. Today is June 3rd, 2020 and our Wednesday news show is on. It's 8:01 p.m. in Moscow and we're streaming live. Today I had a talk with Yuri Tabak, a blogger from the USA. Hello Yuri, here comes my question. Why is Donald Trump asking Vladimir Putin to join the G7 summit? What are his reasons? Trump is doing this because the old European prostitutes from the G7 communicate with Putin anyway. They meet Putin behind Trump's back. President Macron, Chancellor Merkel and the rest of the leaders are staying in touch with Vladimir Putin. They want to construct Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline and don't like it when Trump goes out of treaties with Russia without asking Putin. He humiliates Putin by telling that another deal with Russia is now over and there is nothing to discuss. Still, he declares that he likes Putin and would like to see him at the G7 summit. However, the US is now out of the Treaty on Open Skies as well as of the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. Knowing of some secret relations between Putin and Europe, Trump is now trying to make the G7 leaders speak of those openly, as well as of their attitude to Russian leader. That's why Angela Merkel has now refused from going to the G7. She has worked Trump out. The US president wants Putin to come and to hear what the G7 leaders have to say about him, rather than listening to them complaining about how dangerous Putin is. Trump is the only one of them not talking to Putin secretly. He doesn't visit Putin while the rest of the G7 leaders do that on the QT. So I bet this is the true reason of Trump inviting Putin to that summit. Here's another talk with another expert. Coming up next, see part of my dialogue with Alina Vitukhnovskaya, a politician and writer. Vladimir Putin is about to change the constitution of Russia. How do you think will Venice Commission react to that? I wish the West would express its views regarding Russia the way it did at the time of the USSR collapse. Unfortunately, it's not happening now, which is sad. In fact, the position the West has now taken benefits Vladimir Putin. However, anything may change any moment at times like this. The current period of history may bring surprises. That's why I still do expect the West to criticize and to disapprove Putin changing the constitution. I hope and count on that. What do you think about the recent order signed by Vladimir Putin yesterday? According to the new nuclear deterrence policy of Russia, Putin is now able to use his nuclear weapons first. Does this increase the threat level amid Putin's inappropriate behavior recently? Or may there be nothing to be afraid of? I don't think that Russia has much of its nuclear weaponry left. This is nothing but a scary story now, and it shouldn't be taken seriously. We should rather consider the current level of Putin's madness. We see him using some obsolete Soviet patterns, promoting the Soviet ideology, and threatening the world the way the USSR did. Amid the upheaval in the US, he benefits from the stories about African Americans oppressed there. The Soviet propaganda used the same patterns, but now it all looks like a joke. A man from the city of Yekaterinburg was shot by the police after snatching some wallpaper from a store. Can such stories become routine in Russia? Since the citizens of Russia are impoverishing, such stories sure can become a routine. I don't quite understand why would they kill a guy for stealing wallpaper. All that looks like a sad joke. Still, the authorities supported the police in this case, which means legalizing their actions. That shows how much the authorities are scared by our own people. Of course, they're not afraid of people who steal paper, but rather of those who is about to uprise due to the poverty. The people of Russia are impoverishing while the rule is failing. People now have lots of complaints regarding the country's economy and politics. This makes the real protest agenda unlike the one suggested by fake opposition, supervised by the Kremlin. As I said, the fact that the authorities are now taking the side of the police demonstrate them afraid of own people. In fact, the officials consider the police their only means of protection, so they will support the police even in case of any unlawful conduct. Of course, in that situation, the actions of the police were unlawful and cynical. Is it true that people's love to Putin is fading away? His former achievements such as annexation of Crimea are no longer helping. Yes, it seems to be true, and these are the good news. I guess Putin is now acting according to the following plan. First, he is to cancel the lockdown state. Then he will hold the voting for the constitution. After that, he will declare the second wave of the corona. So people will get locked down again, while he will get to rule over them. Do you expect the second wave of the coronavirus to be life-saving for Putin? Or will it finally wash him away? I hope it will wash him away. I'm sure the second wave is coming, as the authorities are cancelling the quarantine in the middle of the pandemic. Well, he requires that now. I mean, that's what Putin wants. I see. Anyways, the second wave is coming. It poses a threat both for the people and for the authorities. And under such deadly conditions, people still need to outplay the authorities. A video spreading over the internet that was filmed in Orenburg region of Russia. Bailiffs came over the house of a poor family to take children away after their parents asked officials for help improving the family's accommodation. The people complained that their house was in a critical condition. In response to that, the officials ordered the bailiffs to take children away from the family. The video coming up next must be watched only by those with a lot of nerve. We've got a warrant for your kids. Stay away from us, you can't do this. You're pushing me, get your hands off me. Your children are going with us. Leave my children alone. You scumbags! Stay down! Get the handcuffs! What the hell are you doing to her? Get your hands off her! She's putting up a resistance! Get your hands off me! That was some terrible footage from a region of Russia. It reveals that the officials don't even ask themselves what kind of help they can provide to those poor people. They don't think about the mental damage to those children. They're simply insane. They're no humans, but rather some dinosaurs trying to grab those children and to punish their parents by depriving of their custodial rights. They're not going to help them to get a job. They're not going to help with the housing or with some mortgage. They're acting according to the instructions. The state doesn't owe anything to its citizens. Once you don't have a job, you shouldn't have had children. We didn't ask you to have children, and you have several. So we will take them away and punish you. We will walk all over you and wipe the floor with you. That's a barbaric form of relations. The officials are using some unnecessary cruelty. But that's a game that two can play it. So they're simply provoking people to fight back. The country is in the middle of a financial crisis. People are losing their jobs. They're out of money and don't know when they will be able to earn a penny. There are no other horizons except for nightmares from the very hell. In addition to that, a citizen may simply be killed by the police any moment. Then they will say that everything was according to the law. I suppose that by the end of the year or even this fall, the underlying people, as named by the officials, will be ready to jointly stand up to this so-called state. They won't choose no soft ways to oppose. Putin's supporters have now forced the citizens into a primal cave, with no vegetarians there. There will be harsh resistance, and Putin's fans will be boiled in own blood. Mark my words. Watch Sotnik-TV.